here in Cecil County. She is a soccer referee with Cecil Soccer. And I know how those fans can be, Skylar. She is a nearly constant presence sitting on the stage at volleyball and basketball games, cheering on her friends. And throughout all of these activities, Skylar gives 100%. Soft-spoken and perhaps a little shy, we all know that she has much to offer. Her love of math and science will surely lead her down a STEM track in college. Skylar Shepard. Cody Smith. Cody began his career in 8th grade also. He is quiet, funny, but very knowledgeable. He is a bit of a news junkie, particularly with particular interest in economics and the government. He ran cross country in 9th and 10th grades, but he can often be found at other sporting events cheering on his friends. He is a member of that county championship and marathon team, where he's learned to appreciate seeing the world in its natural state. I recently learned that Cody had been shooting archery for the past 6 years. His love of video games will certainly lead him into a career he hopes in cyber security. Cody Smith. So about 17 years ago, I bought a bike for my daughter for Christmas. And I asked my neighbors, the specs, if I could hide it in their garage. And they said, sure. I said, I'll pick it up Christmas Eve. Only one little problem. They were having a baby on Christmas Eve. So Delaney is the senior that I have known the longest. And you will listen carefully today for her middle name. I didn't know then, Delaney, that how connected our relationship would be, from neighbor to teacher to head of school and student. Last year, Lainey was awarded the Gwen Wardell Love of the Environment Award from Mr. Wardell, who recognized Delaney's love of all things natural. No wonder that she is a member of the Envirothon team and the Environmental Club. She runs cross country, and most importantly, Delaney embodies all that a traditional Tome student should be. Caring for all of us, from a kindergartner adjusting to school to a teacher needing to run an errand, all with a gentle smile. And we should all be thankful, because Delaney is considering a major in geriatrics. I am sure that her love of her grandparents probably influenced this decision. Delaney Speck. Christian Summers. Christian's favorite activity here at Tome is Mr. Ford's fantasy writing class. I love this. I love the fact that we have a fantasy writing class and that Christian is a part of it. Here is a young man who wants to become a game designer and computer programmer, but he recognizes the value of the story within those confines. He is creative, witty, and resilient. He has become a constant presence on our athletic field, soccer, cross country, and especially lacrosse. In his free time, he plays both the guitar and the dulcimer. He also gives his time and talents to his church at St. Mary Ann's. I am sure that future generations will either be reading your fantasy novel or playing one of your computer games, Christian. Christian Summers. Julia Sloboda. So on a very wintry morning last December, representatives from each branch of the military arrived at St. Mary Ann's Church here in Northeast to participate in Wreaths Across America. They were there because Julia Sloboda called them. She was the driving force behind bringing this worthwhile program to Cecil County, where 74 wreaths were laid. The three values of Wreaths Across America is to remember our veterans, to honor them, and to teach the next generation about veterans. Here at school, Julia is involved in FCA, Drama Club, where her sense of humor comes to the forefront, and she is Key Club president. Last spring, she was recognized for her service to the school and community with the Barksdale Character Award. Julia has high aspirations for her collegiate career, where she plans to study finance for a future career in investment banking. Julia Sloboda. Caitlin is president of the class of 2018, and she is one of several members of the class who wears the Titan uniform proudly, most notably on the basketball court, where she served as captain and has earned all conference accolades. She has what basketball coaches call hustle. I was so happy to read that she has earned the Presidential Physical Fitness Award all through high school, and I have to wonder, Miss Christian, if she's going for a 12-year run. With all of her academic and athletic prowess, she shared that her most meaningful activity here at Tome was making blankets for the residents of Calvert Manor Nursing Home, a project that she led with her classmate Samantha Taylor. This very small notation speaks volumes about Caitlin. Caitlin's future plans include becoming a nurse. Caitlin Tissot. Eden Taylor. On the third floor here at Tome is an apartment that was originally built as a guest apartment. It has been converted into a pretty cool workspace for publications. That's both the Titan Times newspaper and Phantasmagoria, our literary magazine. This is Eden's domain. She is one of the driving forces behind both publications. She is passionate about keeping people informed and getting other students' voices heard. Her other passion is Key Club. She is the district, at last year's district convention in Baltimore, Eden was elected as Lieutenant Governor of Division 6A. That means she is representing Key Clubs from both Maryland and Delaware. The Drama Club also benefits from Eden's energy, as she has been part of that drama production for all 3 years. This past spring, along with her sister Samantha, Eden volunteered to be a junior coach with our Heart and Soul team, our middle school division of Girls on the Run. Eden hopes to pursue a career in public health. Eden Taylor. Samantha Taylor. As I just mentioned, Samantha volunteers to be a junior coach with Heart and Soul. I should mention that without these two young women, that program was precariously close to folding. The program is directed to girls in grades 6 through 8 and promotes healthy living toward the development of strong, kind, young women. Samantha and her sister are wonderful role models for these young girls. This past summer, Samantha worked as a camp counselor at Cecil College, clocking in 40 hours per week working with children. She is a consistent name on the director's list, a member of National Honor Society, a member of Key Club, and of course, a lower school tutor. She spent most of her childhood being what I call a gym rat. That's gymnastics term for a competitive gymnast. Samantha said she would either like to study law or education, something to do with children. Samantha Taylor. Stephen Tristani. Okay, so Tome starts a lacrosse team in the spring of 2015. Upper school boys are extremely excited at this. This is going to happen since they've been talking about it for some time. But there was one piece missing, a goalie. So someone said, hey, let's ask Stephen, he'll do it. And Stephen shrugged his shoulders and said, yeah, I'll try. Okay, little freshman. I mean, Stephen was not as tall then as he is today. He has been the last man standing since. He is so much fun to watch back there. Along with lacrosse, Stephen has played basketball and soccer here at Tome. He worked as a camp counselor at Camp Sandy Cove in West Virginia this past summer. He has a philosophy, and his philosophy is this: enjoy the good times and learn from the bad. Stephen plans to study marine science, possibly at Coastal Carolina University. Stephen Tristani. Zan Wills. Zan is our Renaissance man here in the class of 2018, and I'm not sure where to begin all that can describe Zan. He is a world traveler: Spain, Morocco, Italy, and France with Mr. Noboon and the Tome Travelers. My favorite travel story from Zan is a trip that he did with his grandfather as they boated around the Delmarva Peninsula a few years ago. There's something about a young man sailing the Chesapeake with his grandfather that really struck me. Zan is a member of stage crew. He's on the soccer team and a defenseman on the lacrosse team. Every winter, he sets up the Hickory Hill Train Garden in Harford County, which raises money for local food banks. 2,225 over 4 years, providing 727 pounds of food. His other hobbies include model trains, motocross dirt bikes, radio-controlled airplanes, surfing, and sailing. All of these while still earning a consistent spot on honor roll. He is hoping to attend UMBC. Zan Wills. and her name is synonymous with hard work and consistent effort. In the classroom, Autumn gives her all the time. Her effort is frequently recognized at Prize Day with several effort and performance awards. I would like to share what Autumn wrote about Tome recently on her survey. My past education before high school was far from an education. When I came to Tome, it was learning times 100. Since being at Tome, I have become a motivated individual who strives for the best. Well, those are words that a teacher dreams of hearing. Autumn is a driving member of both the FCA and the Key Club. She plans to study nursing after graduation. But I'd like to close today's portion of the program with a little story about Autumn last year at our talent show. And it really speaks volumes about the class in front of you and our Tome student body. We had a talent show last spring that Student Council sponsored, and someone found out that Autumn indeed has a beautiful voice, but she was a little stage fright. So the Student Council asked the audience member, told them we're going to play The Voice. Is that the name of the show, right? And everybody, please turn around and not face the audience, but we're going to bring out a singer and you're going to listen to them. And every member of that high school didn't question it. They turned around and sat there with their backs turned towards Autumn while she sang beautifully. And not once did anybody turn around. Not once did anybody sneak a selfie. And then when she was finished, they turned around and applauded. And it was a beautiful moment both for Autumn and for the class of 2018 and for our student body. Autumn, look. I'd like to close today's program with a little kind of reminder for the class of 2018. Some godmothers, maybe senior class godmothers, have been leaving you little things in your hubbies, and today they've left you a little bag. And on that bag is a leadership survival kit. You are now leaders of the school. So I'm going to tell you what's in there. Inside your leadership survival kit will be paper clips to help you hold things together. An eraser to remind you that no mistake is permanent. Bubble gum, which you'll eat outside of the bubble gum to remind you that the child within is important. Rubber bands to remind you to be flexible and stretch beyond limits. Crayons remind you to go out and color the world. Smarties to remind you that you are smart and to remind you to make good decisions. Pencils to write down those great ideas. A Band-Aid to remind you to heal problems and hard feelings. And stars to remind you what you are reaching for. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2018. Start in just a minute. I want to make sure I have their middle names correctly, so we're going to run downstairs and do a double check on those before we go any further. One on this time, I'm just going to ask those members in our audience who are alumni who are visiting today, I've seen or are perhaps parents of students here today. Would you please stand and be recognized? See if, how many. Go ahead, Olivia, stand up. I've seen a couple other people. Tyler, very good. Thank you. It's always nice to see alumni come back, either for families or for friends. Allison, we're going to start in just a second. Yes. Oh, you'll have to listen for Delaney's middle name. You'll hear it when I say it today. And you'll see why. Thank you, Mr. Hanson. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.